So, well, this is a brewery this is a brewery that we never have anything from.
Because it's not really a brewery at all.
Well, the people who made this beer.
Okay, I see where you're going there. I
Yeah,
get it now.
yeah.
No, that's good. I like that because actually, at first I was a little confused.
Yes.
Until we did enough research. Like I said, I'm glad you picked this up because of one of the names alone, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But
Right.
at first I was confused. I was like, well, is this a brewery? Is this a what? But
Yeah.
it's something that we will get into with a 13th anniversary celebration on this. Give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage we are about today is a beer. It is a beer that was made for a particular beer
Distributor.
beer retailer.
Retail
shop
store. Right. There
in
you go.
Seattle called Bottleworks. And I guess every year they try to get with a different brewery.
Yes.
To make a beer for their particular anniversary for that year. And for the 13th anniversary beverage, they turned to one of our favorites,
Stone Brewing.
Stone Brewing, obviously in Escondido, California. And this caught my eye at a local beverage retail shop, McGee Road Liquors.
Oh, how funny. You bought this at a nice local liquor
did.
retail store, and that's who actually had this made. Very cool.
In fact, actually, maybe Mick should have them do something for him.
He's been in business quite a while, too.
He
We
has
should
been.
get that done.
Yeah, he sells a lot of their beer. So, I was browsing through there one day, and just checking out the titles, just seeing what was there, and I saw the 13th anniversary, and then I saw the Stone on there, and looked at the back, and it actually has 13 malts and 13 hops, 13 different types of, grains, it said, actually, right?
Yes.
13 types of grains, 13 types of hops, and so that was enough for me, and the price was right, actually. It was only $6.50.
Yeah, I'm seeing
that.
That's a nice price for a specialty beer like that.
For a 22
But Stone,
beer.
it seems like they never go too crazy with their prices. Overall, right?
Overall. Yeah,
right?
no, overall, you're right. The
it's not
Cali
often-
Belgian, the sublimely self-righteous.
Right. Even their anniversary
arrogant-
stuff is
yeah.
usually not more than, it's usually under $7. It's
Yeah.
never like, oh, I got to get this Stone. Oh, the specialty one, the 12, 12, 12 this year is $15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They always find a way to make a very interesting experience, but still keep it kind of priced nicely.
Yeah, overall, yeah, I would agree with that. So we just did a little research and found out where this place is actually and what they are and what they do, and so we're going to give this a shot.
Yeah, because it was funny when you first called and said, oh, I got this Stone, this 13th anniversary beer. And I was like, wow, did you find something that someone had stored or something? Because they just did 15. They're on 16 now. And you're like, no, it's something else.
This sounds, actually, and if I'm ever in the Seattle area, this sounds like a great place to go into. They have over 950 beer selections. They have cigars. You can go in there and have a growler filled. And
yeah, they said they have 10 different rotating taps and stuff like that. That's awesome.
So we'll have a link to their website at ours at AboutBeverages.com. So, wow. I'm going to just give you a little play-by-play right now. That pours extremely brown.
Yeah, that is dark. Well, I mean, there's only so many specialty grains that you can use that probably aren't going to make it dark.
Well, and
especially with having to use 13.
With the 13 grains, 13 hops, they were also going for 13% alcohol.
They were. That was what they were aiming for. But unfortunately, with all the specialty malts and things and grains that they had in there, they just couldn't get their ABV up high enough. So the actual ABV on this is 11.4.
Which is still quite high.
It's still quite high.
It was 11.4?
Well, it says 11 there. Actually,
11.
I was actually at Stone's blog, and it specifically said 11.4. So they measured it at. So
that's still quite a bit.
Yeah, that's plenty. I don't.
Yeah. That is just a dark brown, and can't see through that.
Yeah, it is very dark brown. Yeah, not black. Very dark brown. Nice, kind of tan beige head color there, which is nice.
Yep. The bubbles are those. The carbonation bubbles are the bigger ones. Not really that super fine, tight carbonation. So
yeah, it's a soft carbonation.
It's a soft bubble. Well, I get the malt first. I get something malty.
Yeah, but I'm getting the chocolaties coming through. In that malty, I'm getting
a little chocolate, little nut,
chocolatey sweetness, little nutty.
Yep.
And I'm definitely getting there's a little smoky, a little maybe peaty. I don't know if they actually used any peat smoked malts. I don't see it on here. Light Munich. No, but I am getting
Andrew
that
knows
some
what he's
reason.
looking for. Well, the oats
Well,
are probably we're probably getting a little of that.
The oats are probably
The oat.
more for just. The oats are probably more just for. Just so the
So
whole
you
thing,
give it
just
some
so the
body?
whole thing doesn't compress.
Oh.
And it does have to do with head retention a little bit and body. Yeah, that's interesting. That is a really interesting grain. I really wonder what the balance of everything in there was. I would love to know. Because I think there was probably at a point where they were just like, well, we're throwing in 0.25% just to say we threw in these grains. Because there's only so much you can keep it. But there's a...
Well, yeah, because
It's
we know
almost
from coffee and from anything, really, you start doing too much,
Yeah.
it just kind of becomes for the sake of doing it.
Right.
Now, if anybody is not doing it for the sake of doing it, it's probably Stone.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of other great craft brewers out there who know what they're doing. But and we know why they were doing it. It was 13th anniversary. But like I said, yeah, sometimes
At a
it's
point.
just like
Yeah.
you're going to lose out on
There's like
the actual effect.
I'm getting a little bit of malty, which then turns into some nice chocolatey notes, like a little bit of dark chocolate, milk chocolatey,
Right.
which turns into I get a little bit of the peat, smoked malts. So there's something very light in there on that. But then I'm also getting a little bit of, like you said, the nutty. It's almost like there's a little hint of that waffle coney in there or something like that. That little bit of,
Very,
like,
very slight,
like
but yeah.
almost like malty mapley, like something at the back.
Yeah.
That is amazing and complex.
Pretty nice
It smells
complex.
great.
Yeah.
And you'll notice, so with all the aroma, like I have not mentioned a single hop. Like I'm
No,
not getting
I
an
didn't get
overwhelming
any.
amount of hops in here at
No,
all.
I'm not getting that at all. Not at least on the aroma, but who knows?
I guess we'll find out in the taste.
all I really get from hops is some lift, but also some settle on the tongue. I don't really get like distinct.
There's a little bitterness at the back. There's like a little bit of a peppery or something. I'm getting a little bit of that too at the back. Before we get into this too much more, let me just say this is delicious. This is fantastic. I am loving every sip of this. This is definitely a sipper. Not just because it's 11%, but it's pretty strong. But
Yeah.
I would love to sit and just enjoy this. This is great. I am going to have to find out if he has any more of these because
Call Mick.
I am going to have to get at least one of these. This
Yeah.
is really good. I don't know what
tasty.
you're thinking.
For $6.50. That's definitely something to
Yeah.
keep for some cooler months too. But it's weird because it's heavy. It's got some heavier overtones, but it's also it's light. It doesn't it doesn't weigh you down.
Right. Yeah.
It goes down pretty smooth, but there's a lot to wrap
There's a lot
your
to chew on.
taste buds around.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely you get the chocolate, you get some roasted notes, you get
I'm getting some of that, like the mapley that I talked about. There's like a sweetness in there that's not. It could be more brown sugar, but it seems a little lighter. That's why I keep saying like maple syrup kind of thing or something. But like I said, that's in there, like right in the middle, and all of these flavors, they hang around just enough. Like they're there, but they're not like you said, they're not weighting you down. They're not
Right.
building up.
and the owners of Bottleworks worked with Stone. Isn't
Correct.
that what we read?
The
Okay,
Mats.
so the Mats.
The mats, as they say. Yeah, I actually went down to Stone Brewing, and they were the ones that came up with the idea of like we want to really embrace and celebrate the number 13. So that's why it was 13 grains, 13 hops, and like I said, they were trying for 13 alcohol.
Ooh, I wonder if I would bet these guys maybe they put it in a keg for them to sell and on tap
Oh,
in
I
their
bet.
place.
Think what that's like on
That's
draft.
probably pretty amazing, actually. Wow.
And it was it's interesting too because for a beer bottled by Stone, they had to use up so much room to name all the grains and hops. They really didn't have the normal amount of information
The
they put on
writing
here.
that yeah.
Usually there's not their college thesis. On
Just Stone, you have to get out your magnifying glass.
Exactly.
Settle into a comfortable chair. Make sure you've gone to the bathroom and
Exactly.
and read the back of their bottle.
And read it before you actually start drinking, or it
Yeah,
gets much more
right,
difficult.
Right.
I love that.
I do.
There's a pretty strong
There
alcohol
is
at the end,
I
though.
do get the vaporous alcohol note.
Yeah.
From that.
Which I like.
It's a
I
nice
actually-
little
I actually
sort of
like it in this.
augment of the taste of the flavor.
And I think
profile.
that helps with it not being quite as heavy at the back too, because there is like this lift, and part of it could be from the hops,
Yeah.
like you said, a little bit, because I am getting some bitterness at the back, but they're just not. I think the malts are so good and complex, you're not really, at least my palate does not perceive really anything else.
Yeah.
Man, well,
That's good.
there's nothing else to say besides I'm going to finish this beer off camera. That's pretty much it. But
Over in a corner, all by yourself.
all over in a corner, all by myself.
You're precious.
Not precious. It would be. But what you can do is head on over to the website, AboutBeverages.com, and definitely check out the tasting notes for this fantastic beer, care of Stone and Bottleworks. I almost want to say Bottleworks Brewing, but they should go into brewing for themselves, of how much, depending on how much this was their idea. But yeah, definitely go check that out. And while you're there, look at the Link Lounge. That's where we'll have all the links to everything that we have talked about, including this beer. We'll have it to Bottleworks, their actual website, Stone, and their information on this, and anything else we feel is relevant to the podcast. We'll have the list. You'll be able to find all the hops and grains that are in here as well. Boy, that would be an expensive thing to make. Thinking from homebrewer perspective, like to put all those hops
put all
those hops in there alone, like that's like $30 worth of hops right there.
Can you taste the Calypso?
I can't. I've used Calypso before, but yeah, I can't taste it.
Yeah.
No Calypso in there. But whether we like it or not,
You should give it a shot.